All right, we're doing, what are we doing? Addition method, something like that. All right, so you've had your problems on page 759. See, so I can see it. There it goes. We're going to be doing just a few different types of problem. Addition method, solving by addition method. There we go. That's what we're doing this week. So as an example, this is page 759, number 21. These are just a few examples that you'll see on the test. So let's start off just by going 2x plus 3y equals 6, and then 2x minus 3y equals 6. Now what we're basically doing is just adding and subtracting, so we get one variable by itself. So in this case right here, I already have a 3y and a 3y, one's positive and one's negative, so I can go ahead and use the addition method. That cancels this part out. I'll be left with x's and variables, so I'll be able to solve for x right away. So this is kind of an easy version of what we're doing, so I'll start with this. So I can, if I wanted to, I could just do this. These cancel out because 3y and negative 3y, they cancel. I'm left with 4x equals 12, and then I can go ahead and just solve. So x is equal to 3, all right? And then I'll go ahead and put this in coordinate. So x goes first. Now we need to solve for y. To solve for y, all I really have to do is just plug x in to one of my original formulas or equations, and then just solve for it. So let's do this one since everything is positive. So I'm going to go 2, and I already found out that x is 3. So 3 plus 3y equals 6, and then I can go ahead and solve. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3y equals 6. This goes over to the other side, right? So I have to subtract a 6, subtract a 6. So that gives me 3y is equal to 0. All right, and when I solve for y on this side, y is equal to 0. So now I can plug this in to my equation, and that's it. My answer is 3, 0. All right, so not really difficult. All you're doing is just trying to figure out what one variable is. Once you find the first variable, then you can just plug it into the second one and solve. So let's try another example. Let's go, and this is number 7 in your book. There it goes. All right, x plus 3y equals 8, and y equals 2x minus 9. All right, now first thing I see on this one is I have x plus 3 on one side equals 8. That's kind of the format I want. In this case, I have y equals 2x minus 9. So this really doesn't, it's not in the same format as this one. So I'm going to solve this equation to get it into this format. So basically what I need to do is I need to subtract a 2x to both sides. All right. And I'm going to be, let me rewrite the problem. All right. I'm going to be left with, I'll start with x first. So minus 2x plus y equals minus 9. All right, and then I'm going to just yank this guy over so it's on top of it. So x plus 3y equals 8. All right. Now, here, unlike the first example where I had a positive 3y and a negative 3y, they just canceled out easily. Over here, I don't really have it. It's not really that easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this x. And in order to get rid of the x, I have to multiply everything by 2 because I want a positive 2x. So what I'm going to do, let me do it in red here. I'm going to multiply that whole entire top by 2x. All right, so let me rewrite the problem again. There it goes. All right, so 2x, 2 times x, plus 2 times 3 is 6y, equals 16. All right, so all I did was 2 times x, 2 times 3y, and 2 times 8. That gives me the new equation. And then I'm going to take this guy right here and shove it underneath again. So, negative 2x plus y equals 16. All minus 9. All right, now I can go ahead and solve. So let's do that. My x's cancel out. I'm left with 7y is equal to 7. So y equals 1. All right, so now I got half of my problem solved. Now all I have to do is just plug this in plug it in and solve. So let's go back over here. I'm just going to use this top one. So I'm going to go x plus 3 times y, and we found out that y is 1, so I'm going to put 1 in there, is equal to 8. There it goes. X plus 3 equals 8. X equals, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, so x equals 5. All right, and then I could just plug it in. Remember, we put parentheses, x and y. X is 5, y is 1. And that's it. All right. The last one we're going to do has multiple. Here, page 2. Focus. There it goes. All right, last one has multiple equations. So let's figure out how to solve that. So we have got x plus 3y plus z equals 6. Then we've got 3x plus y minus z equals minus 2. And there we go. I'll make a 2 like that, I guess. And then we've got 2x plus 2y minus z equals 1. All right, so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down into 2 different problems and then combine. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 guys and solve for it like we just did. And then I'm going to take these 2 guys and solve. All right, the reason I'm doing that is because I have a z here and a negative z, so those are going to cancel out real easy for me. And then I've got a positive z here and a negative z here, so those are going to cancel out real easy for me. So I'm just going to use those just because it's easiest. I can use any of these other ones if I wanted to, but since this is going to be simple, that's what I'm going to use. All right, so first thing, let's use these 2 guys. So x plus 3y plus z equals 6. And then I've got 3x plus y minus z equals minus 2. All right, here, let me put a little arrow there. Bam, that's what that is. All right, now I can go ahead and solve. So 4x plus 4y, these guys cancel out, equals 4. Now in this case I have 4, 4, and 4, so really I could just divide everything out or reduce it down by 4, and it would be the same equation. So I'm just going to go ahead and say x plus y equals 1. All right. Now this becomes one of my equations that I'm going to use down the road. All right. So now let's go back. Just keep this in the queue ready to go. Now we're going to solve these 2 guys, and then we're going to use this with the answer of whatever we get from here to actually solve one of these variables. All right. So here we go. This is going to be this. So x plus 3y plus z equals 6. 2x, I'm doing this guy right here. 2x plus 2y minus z equals 1. And then I'll solve. All right. Remember, those guys cancel. So here I got 3x. Here I've got 2y. Oh, I'm sorry, 5y. 5y. Those cancel out, equals 7. All right. Now, let's put a little box around this guy. Now what I can do is I can use this guy and this guy to actually solve for something. So let's go ahead and do that. So this and this, I've got 3x plus 5y equals 7. And then I've got x plus y equals 1. All right. Now, here I can't really subtract anything out. All right, so what I have to do is figure out what I want to solve for and then multiply that entire row so it becomes the same. Now I might have to do it for both sides sometimes, but in this case, since I have an x and a y by itself, I could either solve by y by multiplying everything by -5, or I can solve for x by multiplying everything by -3. So let's try the -3 route. So I'm going to put this in parentheses, and I'm going to subtract or multiply everything by -3. So I'm going to be left with -3x minus 3y equals -3. All right. Now I can go ahead and subtract these guys out. So 3x and -3x, that's nothing. That cancels out. 5y and a -3y gives me 2y. And a 7 minus 3 gives me 4. Then I can go ahead and just solve for y. So y equals 2. So now I have one solved. All right. Now what I need to do is just go back in and start plugging things in. So let's solve for, we know y is 2, let's solve for x. Let's use this easy equation. That's pretty simple. So I'm going to use this guy and just solve for x. I'm going to plug in 2 for y and then go ahead and just solve. So let's go x plus y equals 1. I already know y. Whoop, there we go. I already know y is equal to 2, so I'm going to say x plus 2 equals 1. All right. X equals, I'm going to subtract a 2 on both sides, so x equals -1. All right. So there's 2. That's the second. Now all I need is my z. All right. Now, if you remember up at the top, let's go back to the original equations. There we go. Here's my original equation. So I already know what x and y are. So let's just pick the easiest one to solve for and then just go from there. So I don't know. That has a positive number, so let's just use that. So I'm going to come down here. Well, there, that way you can see it. So I've got 2, and then whatever my x is. I already said my x is -1. So 2 times -1 plus 2y. 2, and we said y was 2. So I'll plug 2 in there. There it goes. And then minus z equals 1. All right, so let's go ahead and solve for that one. So 2 times -1 is -2 plus 4. That's 2 times 2 minus z equals 1. So here I've got 2 minus z equals 1. Let's make that a better 2. Sorry about that. There we go. So now I can go ahead and just start solving for it. So I subtract a 2 both sides. That gives me -z equals -1. And I can't have a -z, so what do? I flop the sign, right? If you have negative on this side, we flip it over onto this side. So z equals 1. And that's my third solved variable. So now all I have to do is just put it in the right format. So remember, we have x, we have y, and we have z. All right, comma, comma. So my x is -1, so -1, comma. Y is 2, there we go. And z is 1, and that's my answer. So that's going to be the basic gist of the test. Like I said, all you're doing is just solving and using the addition method to solve for things. All right, good luck.